to my channel. It's Nomi Moore, and today I thought that I would do a little bit more of an extreme drag makeup for you guys. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of a heavier makeup application, and my eyes are going to be much more dramatic. I'm still going to use my own brows just because I really like using my own brows, but I'm going to raise them up and make them a little bit thicker to go with the more dramatic feel of the makeup. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I'm going to start with my Real Techniques prep brush and the SmashBox Photo Finish Primer. Next, I'm going to go in with my color corrector using the MAC Studio Conceal and Correct Duo. I'm going to start off with pure orange along my stubble. And then I'm going to flip over to the other side to soft ochre, and that's going to go under my eyes. Next, I'm going to go in with my foundation. I'm using Kryolan TV Paint Stick in the color 6W. And I'm going to buff that in with my Real Techniques 200 Expert Face Brush. Okay, next I'm going to go in with my highlighter. I'm using the Kevyn Sensual Skin Enhancer in the color SX01, and I'm going to pop that under my eye and on my cheekbone with my finger. And then I want a little bit on the bridge of my nose and my forehead. And I'll put a little bit on my chin and my upper lip. And for around my eyes, I'm going to use the Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush. And then for the larger areas, I'm going to use the Real Techniques Contour Foundation Brush using the foundation side. And next I'm going to go in with my contour. I'm going to be using the Kryolan TV Paint Stick in the color NG2, going back in with the foundation contour brush, but this time I'm going to be using the contour side of the brush. And I'm just going to tap that into my makeup and then apply that to where I want to create or carve out my contours. And then I'm going to switch back to the foundation side of the brush, going into the NG2, and this is going to go under my eye and then up my temple. And I'm going to quickly clean that up with the Deluxe Crease Brush that I used for the highlighter. And then I'm going to use the Real Techniques stippling brush to blend in the contour color. Alright, so now that I've got all of my foundation colors blended, I'm going to set all of that with my setting powder. I'm using the Real Techniques complexion sponge. I'm using it dry so that I get a little bit more of a full coverage finish. And I'm using a combination of the Ben Nye powder in banana and the Kryolan setting powder in translucent mixed together in equal parts. Next, I'm going to take my Real Techniques 201 powder brush and dust off all that excess. And now I'm going to go in and contour using MAC Taupe blush and the Real Techniques sculpting brush. And then next I'm going to go in with Raizin and still using the Real Techniques sculpting brush. I'm just going to create a little bit more of a darker contour on top of the taupe. Now I want to use a little bit of bronzer to blend the contour in. And for that, I'm going to be using the Real Techniques Expert powder brush and the Too Faced bronzer in Sun Bunny. And now I want to further define my nose contour, and for that I'm going to use a MAC 227 brush and a little bit of taupe. And I'm going to lightly buff that out with a MAC 222 brush. And then going back in with the 201 powder brush. Now for brows, I'm using the Urban Decay Brow Blade, and this color is in Neutral Nana. Now I'm going to clean that up with a little bit more of my concealer on the bottom, and I'm using a Pro Flat Definer brush. And then for the top of the brow, I don't want that to be as bright, so I'm going to use my foundation color, the Kryolan TV Paint Stick in 6W, and I'm going to mix that into the leftover concealer that I have on my hand. And then we'll set that makeup on the top with whatever powder we have left over on our Real Techniques complexion sponge. Next, we're going to start with the eyes. And in preparation for that, because I'm going to be working with a lot of shadow, we're going to go ahead and place a layer of powder underneath the eye, which will help to catch some of the fallout of the shadow. And it really helps to brighten and add an extra highlight to the under eye area. And then to tighten up the cheek contour, we'll also put a little bit underneath here. Okay, for the eyes, the first step is going to be to create a new crease line. I'm going to do that by using MAC Lip Pencil and Currant, and I'm just going to be drawing that new crease line up above my own natural crease line. And then I'm going to buff that out with a Real Techniques Instapop crease brush. Next, moving on to our highlight color, I'm going to be using MAC Rice Paper and the Real Techniques Base Shadow Brush. And then for the bottom lid, once again, I'm going in with my flat brush and my concealer, and I'm going to carve out or cut that crease. I'm going to use the Instapop shade brush and Arena mixed with a little bit of Amber Lights from MAC. And to that, I'm going to add some MAC glitter in gold, but to make sure that it sticks to my eyelid, I'm going to use a little bit of the MAC Dazzleliner in Holiday Time. And I'm going to use the Instapop shadow brush, and I'm going to dip that into my gold glitter, and I'm going to press that onto the wet Dazzleliner. Now we're going to work on the crease a little bit more. I'm taking the Real Techniques Definer brush and brown down, and I'm going to back up that contour or that crease line. And then using the defining crease brush, I'm going to buff that out a little bit. Now I'm going to go in with MAC Carbon, and I'm going to continue that crease line to the outer edge of my eye. And then using the defining crease brush, buff that. Now I'm going to take, this is an old Japonesque 213 eyeshadow brush that I've had forever. I just really like the way that this grabs a hold of the makeup and piles it on. And we're going to be working on the outside corner. And I'm going to take this card and really wing out this shadow. And then I'm going to take a little bit more of the carbon on that same brush and bring it onto the eyelid. And then back it up in the crease a little bit more. And then let's use the defining crease brush again and buff that. And then the defining brush, a little bit more carbon, right in the crease again. Really get that crease to pop. Okay, so now we're going to do a little bit of liner on the bottom. I'm going in with the MAC 219 brush and some brown down. And I'm going to connect the upper portion of the eyeshadow to the bottom, but I'm not going to bring it past my lash line. I'm going to keep the inside open. Next, eyeliner. I'm using the Marc Jacobs Highliner Gel Eye Crayon in Blacquer. But when doing the waterline, don't take it all the way inside because we want to leave that little bit on the inside corner open so we don't close off the eye. But we're still getting a nice, dramatic, very hyper feminine look by putting this black on the waterline. And then going back in with the defining angled brush and more carbon to blend the pencil out. And then let's use that MAC 219 again just to buff and blend that bottom line out. Now for liquid liner. And this is the Milani Stay Put Matte 17-Hour Liquid Liner. Now we're ready for lashes. Now that the lashes are on, we're going to do another coat of liner above the band of the lashes. And then I'm also going to put a little bit into the crease to really carve and cut that crease out. And then while it's still a little wet, using the defining brush to just blend that in. Now what we can do is go back with our Real Techniques to a 1 powder brush, and we'll dust off all this excess powder. And now we're going to go in with blush and highlighter. I am going to be using the Real Techniques 400 blush brush and MAC Mineralized Blush in Gleeful. And for the highlighter, I'm going to be using the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Skin Frost in Uranus, and I'm using that with the Real Techniques 402 setting brush. Now for lips, I want to use MAC Stone Lip Pencil, and I'm just going to trace my own natural lip line and then just push it a little bit further past my natural lip line. And then I'm going to use the Real Techniques Lip Blur brush to just soften that line. And for my lip color, I'm using Runway Road lipstick in Fashionista. And then I want to work that in with the Real Techniques lip brush. Okay, to finish off the lips, I'm going to be using Runway Road lip gloss in Chameleon. And I really want to amp up the volume on the highlight a little bit. So I'm going to use some pure vanilla pigment from MAC. And then I'll blend that out with the setting brush. I'm going to finish everything off with a misting of my Skindinavia makeup finishing spray in the bridal formula. Again, I've added 2 teaspoons of the vanilla pigment from MAC to that so that I get a really nice dewy finish to my skin. Okay. I'm going to secure my face tapes. I'm going to put on my second nude wig cap. I'll find some hair for you guys, and then I'll be right back to show you the finished look. Okay guys, I've got my hair on. Here's my finished look. I zhuzhed my hair up with the Isles formula, which you guys may or may not have seen me use in a previous video. If you haven't, check out my smoky eye or my classic winged liner tutorial. I show or demonstrate how I use the Isles formula to bring back hair to life. So I did that with this one. This is the finished look. I hope you guys like it. If there's something that you'd like to see me do specifically, go ahead and leave that in the comment box down below. If you can, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks. Bye.